Hi everyone, welcome to John Saville's keynote. This is the one and only. This will be used forever. It's the first time I've ever done a keynote. So I've been asked to do keynotes before. I've always managed to avoid this, but I was outmaneuvered and I did a keynote. So as a part of the preparation, I figured, hey, I'll actually record me delivering this keynote, and then it'd be out on the internet, and then no one will ever ask me again because it would just be this content. But jokes aside, it may just help. It may help from a motivational perspective, give you some ideas, because this is not about technology. The way I'm framing this is how to think about getting to where you want to be, helping to achieve your goals. This is more about a mindset, how to think about framing things. So that's what I want to go through in this keynote, helping to pursue your goals. And I actually want to start off with a little exercise in your brain. So my first job, aside from working in grocery stores, was at Logica, great company, as a VAX VMS systems administrator. And this was really a glorified title for initially, it was fetching the printouts from the basement for the developers. I would change the backup tapes. But I did go through the trainings, I learned about all the tools, and it was great. Then I learned assembler and I became a developer, and it all grew from there. But I was hired at 18 years old, straight out of school, and I would do my degree in the evenings. They hired someone straight out of school once every 2 years. It was part of a program they did, but everyone else was a university graduate. So there's me, this lone 18-year-old, everyone else has got their degree, they're quite a few years older than me. And they were great people. They were very helpful. It was a fantastic place to start out. But one of them I always remember was a psychology graduate. And they quite enjoyed asking me little things to try and probe, I guess, what was going on in my brain. And it was kind of fun. Two of them stuck with me. And I want to focus on one of them. And I want you to go through this exercise. And I really just want you to think about you walking into a room. And in the middle of that room is a container. Now I want you to picture, what does that container look like? What is it? What is this container? I don't want to be any more specific. It's how you perceive what is that container. So picture it. Now I want you to walk over to it and open it up. What's inside it? What's inside your container? So we're to think about those two things. Now, hopefully you've done that. You've pictured your container and you've pictured what was inside. For me, when I went through this exercise, it was like a pirate's chest. Pirate's chest, oldie style, it looked like that. When I opened it up, it was empty. There was nothing inside my pirate's chest. And what was explained to me is how you perceive this container is how you think people perceive you. And then what's inside the container is how you perceive yourself. So back then, I guess I felt people felt I had something to offer, I would bring some benefit, but I didn't feel that about myself. And I think in today's world, you'd call that kind of the imposter syndrome. That idea of, hey, I don't really belong here. I don't think I have value. I'm not good enough. Now today, it's impossible to go through the same exercise because you know what it means. But I'd like to think there's some stuff in the chest. I'd like to think there's something a little bit glittery in there. And I've certainly worked to try and fill that chest, fill that container. And I've always remembered it. It's always kind of driven me in a certain way. And one of the things I want to start off with is if you feel your container, whatever it looked like, is a little empty, don't worry. Everyone feels that way. Everyone has concerns that, they don't know enough, they're not good enough, or whatever that might be. If you feel out of your depth, don't worry. It's better than thinking you know it all. It's much better to have that starting point and want to grow and want to learn and want to bring things and fill up that container. Use it as fuel as where you want to get to. If it's not full, then you have space. You have space to put things in it that's going to help you grow, that's going to help you become whatever your end goal is. I'm not going to talk about what the other one is. Maybe another video, what the other test would be. But don't worry. We all start off that way. The other thing I would like to really start off with is, do you have a mission statement? Have one. Now, this is not some fancy, something you have to share, doesn't have to sound very professional. It's what matters most to you. That's the only thing that matters. You don't have to tell anyone else, but it's what is at the core of your being. It's at the core of what you want to be. And anytime you struggle, anytime you're not sure of a path, you're not sure of what to do, come back to what is that core set of values that is me, and help that mission statement drive what you want to do. Because it really boils down to what you want most. This mission statement, this ultimate goal of my being, is what I want most. And I'll always come back to that over what I might want in any particular small moment in time. I'll share mine. It's not particularly pertinent to anyone else, but for mine, ensure the security and comfort of my family. That's it. There's nothing more fancy than that, but it drives everything I do. Ensure the security. Well, security means many things. Okay, well, I want to financially be stable, so I need a good job. Want to be able to live in a nice area, so safe. Comfort, again, comes back to, okay, well, I need to provide, have a good life. I want to have a good balance of time, so we have good family time in there. A lot of my fitness training, I work out. If there's a threat, you can break something in half. That's really a part of my goal, that security and comfort of my family. I want to be able to break someone if they're a threat to my family. I want to do well in my job. I want to do well in what I do to ensure that security and comfort. And that drives everything. Everything is around that mission statement. So what is yours? Again, it's not right or wrong. You don't have to share it with anyone else. But can you articulate, what is it that I want to be? What really encompasses my being? And it really boils down to, when you're working towards your goals, when you have this idea, you need discipline. Discipline is greater than motivation. People always talk about motivation. I'm going to motivate myself. We're going to motivate each other. This is my reward. This is going to motivate me. Ultimately, I feel, and this is all my opinion, it's doomed to failure. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation is too easily lost. Motivation can be taken away through some minor setback. Hey, if I'm working out or doing a project with someone else and they get discouraged, well, then you just start feeding off of that discouragement, and you ultimately will go into this horrible spiral and calamity ensues. Discipline is all about, what do I want most over what I want now? What is that mission statement? Hey, that mission statement, that's what I want most. Remember that to drive, hey, this is what I need to do. I believe this very, very strongly. I have to develop discipline to meet my goals. And that mission statement is going to help you with that. What is it I want most? Now, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you'll see me talk about Arnold's 5 rules. This picture is directly up there. I always lived by a certain code. I've always had a very strong work ethic. I've always got up early. I would always do physical training. I would work on whatever article or FAQ or book or video. I've always done something. And there's always family time. But I always had some ideas of what I wanted to do. I always wanted to try and, hey, how can you give back in some way? So I had these set of core values. And I discovered Arnie had verbalized his. And they matched very closely. It's just his were way better than mine. And I have this all around my house. So I had these signs made, custom made. So I have one here, just above the screen I see it every time I come to do a video. I have one upstairs. I have one in my little single garage gym. So I'm constantly reminded of these 5 core rules that I believe are everything about being successful to your goals. It doesn't matter what someone else's measure of success is. It's what do you want to be? What are your goals? And helping actually achieve them. And I want to frame this whole talk really around those. So if I think about this for a second, the find your vision is super important. Where is it I'm trying to get to? Now that may be different from your mission statement. The mission statement is who I at core am. What am I? Who am I? My vision is, hey, some goal I want to get to, and that may evolve over time, but I have a certain vision of where I'm trying to get to. And as I go through life, I should be trying to get there. If I don't have a vision, if I have no end state, I'm really just drifting around. I'm like, oh, the wind will carry me wherever I may go. But I'm not trying to get towards some point. It's going to help guide me if I have that end vision. Now, life is life. Not everything we do is going to be a straight line to that end vision. We have to work. We have to earn money. We have to have certain responsibilities. So realize it's never a straight path. It's this windy, windy. Sometimes you go back. Sometimes you go forward. Sometimes it's out to the side. Whatever that might be. But always try in some way to have some step towards how am I getting towards that vision. Try and incorporate some progress towards that vision as often as possible. So always keep it in mind. Now, it's not one big step. Yes, I have this vision. I'm probably going to break it into steps, break it into stages, manageable chunks, so it doesn't seem like this impossible fantasy. I want something that I can actually get to, something I can actually have a chance of achieving. Celebrate the wins. I celebrate lots of little wins. You'll see me sometimes, I'll post on Twitter a picture of me with a cake at 150,000 subscribers, or some donuts at 125,000 subscribers, or whatever it is. I'll celebrate the little wins. I don't care what other people think about that. I think it's fun. I like to celebrate the little things. It keeps it enjoyable. Now, whatever that celebration is to you, doesn't matter. But celebrate the things in whatever way is meaningful to you and has some positive effect to you. Do those things. And I want to focus on, don't think small. I don't want some small vision. I want a big vision. Now, again, we're going to break it into steps, but the ultimate vision should be big. The reason we set ourselves little goals, easy goals, is so we can make sure we achieve them. I don't want to risk failing. Hey, if I set this aggressive goal, I might fail. So I'm going to set something really easy. Okay? What's the point? So you achieve it. You achieve this super easy goal. Do you really feel any sense of accomplishment in there? Is there a sense of pride in there? What do you really feel like you've achieved? Oh, I've achieved this really minor, small thing. Compare that to accomplishing and going through a certain amount of hardship to get to a big goal, this big vision you wanted to achieve. How do you feel when you meet that big vision, that big goal? You've pushed your limits, you've struggled, you've failed, but you got up again. And you stumbled and you got up again. To finally succeed. Your triumph is proportional to the challenge. If the challenge is minimal, the triumph is minimal. If I set big goals, hey, I'm going to have to put in a lot of work, but I'm going to feel a big accomplishment, a big success at the end of that. It's for me why I do the Ironman events. I mean, they're horrible. I'm not really built for triathlon. This 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then a 26.2 mile run is just miserable most of the time. But at the end of it, when you cross the finish line, you just feel fantastic. You've overcome all this difficulty, all this pain, and you've accomplished some challenge. When I want to create a video about a topic that's really not something I normally focus on, that requires a huge amount of research, it feels great when you've actually recorded the video. Yes, it was huge hours of research. There was lots of prep. There was lots of trying different drawings and whiteboards out. But ultimately, hey, when you finished it, it feels great. And that's what matters to me is, hey, I've recorded it. I went through the process. I learned it. I taught it. I created the video. If 10 people watch it or 10,000 people watch it, I don't care about that. I care about, hey, I achieved that goal. And that's what's meaningful to me. If we do hard things, if we have challenges, it changes our whole spectrum of life. If all you ever do is easy things, your spectrum of life is easy, not quite as easy. It's a very, very small spectrum. And so when you have challenges, it's like, oh, this is the end of the world. I'm outside of my spectrum. The internet slowed. Hey, my food is 10 minutes late. Now, if my food is 10 minutes late, I do scream. That's outside of a spectrum I can handle. But if we push ourselves, if we do hard things, our spectrum gets pretty big. We can accept difficult, hard things and embrace them almost. This is our spectrum. Oh, the internet's slow. All right. Hey, the customer's got this challenge. Okay, let's solve it. You can handle things a lot better when you do difficult things in your life. It completely changes your outlook. And so do hard things. It's actually going to improve your life. Normal problems will not bother you as much. There's a fantastic quote by Les Brown. If you do only easy things, your life will be hard. If you do hard things, your life will become easy. And that is so, so true. So set the big goals. Don't think small. You are absolutely going to stumble. You are going to fall. But you get back up. That's how we succeed. That's how we win. Falling, stumbling, a step back is not failing. We only fail if we don't get back up. We all fall. We all fall down. We all have little setbacks. But if we get up and we keep going at it, that's how we win. Don't rewatch bad movies. We are going to make mistakes. We want to learn from those mistakes. We don't beat ourselves up over it. If you see a bad movie, you don't watch it again. So I was unfortunate enough to see Morbius. It's terrible. I mean, terrible, terrible movie. I would never watch that movie again. Now, this is my opinion. You may see it and you love the movie. Doesn't make you a bad person. It means you have a terrible taste in movies, but it doesn't make you a bad human being. But for me, terrible, terrible movie. So I would never want to watch this again. If there were two doors, and one door was, hey, it's a screening of Morbius, and the other door was, oh, it's a pack of wolves that are going to gnaw on your legs, I would roll up my pants, cover my legs in ketchup, and walk into the wolf room. I do not want to see that movie again. The point is, if it's a bad movie, never would I watch it again. Why would I? I'm going to watch good movies. I'll go and watch Groundhog Day or The Matrix or Apollo 13 or The Martian. I like to watch good movies. The list goes on. Your memories should be treated the same way. We do make mistakes. We err. We're human. To err is human. If you've made a mistake, learn from it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't keep replaying the mistake you made and beat yourself up for the rest of your life. When things go wrong, we have this horrible habit of just dwelling on it. Why? You messed up. You messed up, you learned something from it. You've grown, you've advanced in some way from that mistake. If you learnt from it, great. Do you look back on it and maybe go, oh, wow, shudder? You learnt from it. Focus on the good thing. Rewatch the good things in your brain. Don't dwell on terrible, terrible movies. Watch the good movies in your life. When we have these big goals, when we have these vision of where we want to get to, you have to believe it's possible. I have to believe I can succeed. I have to believe there's a way. If there's an obstacle, I'm going to move it. You have to believe in the Matrix. Hey, you see Neo, how he's beginning to believe he can fight the agent. He does his thing. Everything is impossible until someone does it. It's just life. We always say that's impossible, and then someone does it. And then once someone does it, everyone can do it. The 4-minute mile was perceived as impossible for a huge amount of time. Then someone did it. And as soon as one person did it, now thousands of people have done it. I think college kids have done it. So it's just our brains will limit us. If we believe something's impossible, our brain will make it impossible. There's the saying, what is it? If you believe you can or you believe you can't, it's probably true. Whatever you believe is possible, you're going to make that your own reality. If you believe something's impossible, it's very unlikely you're going to actually succeed in that. So believe there's a way. Believe you can overcome the thing. So Top Gun Maverick, love that movie. My favorite scene is where Maverick's been kind of kicked out and then he basically steals a plane and he sets the clock for 2 minutes 15 because no one's been able to do this flight. Everyone else believes it's impossible. He does it. He proves it can be done. And then all the pilots can do it because now they don't perceive it to be impossible. So sometimes from a leader perspective, you have to give people the belief this is not some impossible achievement. It's not an impossible architecture. It's not an impossible quota. It's not an impossible customer. Whatever that is, you have to believe there is a way to actually do it. Now, I love this scene anyway because it sounds fantastic with the subwoofers going. But it's a really important point. If you have a dream, it's there for you to go and do it. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. You'll fail. You'll have little failures, but you get up. If you think of, for me, technology, if I'm trying to learn something and it works the first time, I learn almost nothing. If it fails, well, then I have to go and dig around. I have to try other things. I'll have to read other stuff. I learn it. So in reality, those stumbles we have when things don't work, they're the best lessons. They help us advance the most. When we work out physically, we don't train to feels pretty good. We train to failure. When we push the muscle and it fails, that's what tells it you need to get stronger. You need to go and get better. So we're going to do this next time. So never be afraid of failing. Everyone fails. It's how we actually grow the most, both physically and mentally. We need to fail to move forwards. And Rocky, I love movies. Rocky said it. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how you win. And it's true. I have to be willing to take the hits in life and realize it's not a straight line. There's setbacks, there's challenges, but it's just part of it. You will grow. You will become better through this. Make your goal a need to do. It's not something you want to do. I need to do it. In the old days, the Vikings, they would burn the boats. Now, I don't want to say how great the Vikings were. I think they did some pretty horrible stuff. They would burn the boats. They couldn't retreat. The only way forwards was to accomplish their objective. There was no going back. So think about all of these things. Believe, absolutely, you can achieve whatever this goal, be it a project, be it learning, be it preparing a talk, be it doing a public speech, whatever it is, you can do it. Just believe in that. Ignore negative. Unfortunately, right now, negative is everywhere. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. News is negative. Negative sells. Limit how much news you watch, how many news stories you watch. Most social media is negative and people agreeing with the negative people and being negative with the negative. People can be very negative. If you're trying to push the boundaries, if you're trying to do something different, you'll find there will be negative people. People do not like to see someone pushing the boundary of doing more, because then it makes them feel bad. If everyone's not doing anything, if everyone's sitting on the couch, eating bonbons and watching Netflix, hey, consensus is happy because we're all doing nothing. If you push that and you get up off the couch and start doing something, hey, no, don't do that. You're going to fail. Stay on the couch. Couch is good. Come back. It makes them uncomfortable in their own accomplishments. So you're going to have these negative people who are just going to be negative for the sake of it because they don't want to see you doing something else. They'll tell you it can't be done. They'll tell you it's a waste of time. Who cares? Why worry at all about what these people think? There are quite literally 5 people in the world whose opinion matters to me. People I truly respect, people who have attained something that I value. Now, there's way more than 5 people that have achieved things, but in terms of human beings that I know that have achieved something, be it personal or work or just balance of life, they're the only people whose opinion matters to me. I respect those people. Their inputs, I value. Everyone else, I do not care. Now, I'll nod if they give some negative thing. Oh, you could be right. Okay, thank you. I don't care about their opinion. I'm not going to waste my energy trying to convince them that I can do this. I do not care what these people think. Why would I argue with them? Why would I hurt their feelings? Again, there's enough negativity in the world. I don't say, who cares what you think? Go back to your couch. Okay, you could be right. I'm going to give it my best shot. I don't need to hurt their feelings. There's no point. But they don't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. Ultimately, I'll let my actions speak. I had my first Ironman 7 years ago. One of my friends bet me a steak dinner I would fail. I would not be able to finish an Ironman. I enjoyed the steak. I did finish it. Now, I got 2nd degree sunburn. I spent an hour in a medical tent, but I finished it. I met that goal. There's another great quote, and I don't know the true source of this quote. No one doing more than you will ever criticize you. Only those that are doing less. And if you really think about that, it's very true. If there are people doing things and achieving their goals and working towards their goals, if you're confident, if you're positive about your life and what you're doing, would you spend any energy being negative when you see someone else trying? No. The only people that are generally negative are the people that aren't doing what they want to be doing, that aren't fulfilling their potential. And so they have tons of energy to just spew out negativity because they've got nothing else to do. So remember that. Remember these people that are being negative. Why do you care? They're being negative. The fact they're being negative is really a pretty good indicator of the quality of their life. And also, if there's someone that's like, oh, it's going to fail. I tried that and it failed. I tried that 5 times and it failed. Well, they have 5 things they know didn't work for them. Doesn't mean they know the answer. Doesn't mean they know it's impossible. They just know 5 things that didn't work for them. So ignore the naysayers. They don't matter. yes, it's good to have people you trust and get input from those people you trust. And the people you trust, the people who you value their opinion, true friends, they're unlikely to be negative. You're going to have to put in the work. Hard work is really that bridge between my reality and my vision. There's no shortcuts. There's no other way around it. I have a big goal. Well, it's going to require big work to actually get to that. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Now, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Breaking Bad. Now, I do watch bits of television, but I very rarely just binge things. There's other things that I want to do that matter more over, hey, what maybe I want to do right now. You have a potential. Use that potential. We have a finite time on this world. I don't want to be at the end of my time. And hey, my body's actually in pretty good shape. I've got a ton of things I wish I'd done. Where's the point in that? You have a potential. Burn through it all. I want to finish that line broken down because I've pushed everything I could possibly do. Don't leave things to the end. Have goals, work towards them. But have buckets. So you have a bucket. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And it's really important when we think about goals and having a good quality of life, that quality of life is not just work. It's not just hobby. I need a balance. You always hear about the work-life balance. You hear about people get burnt out. And I truly believe it's if we don't allocate our time well. So I'm very strict. I have a very strict routine pretty much every day. And I really focus on 5 buckets. Now, the most important bucket is family time. Now, I live in the real world. It's not like, hey, I can spend most of my time doing family stuff. You can't. I do have to work. I have to sleep. There's other things. But carve out family time where you can actually do quality family things, not, hey, I'm also doing some work or something else. And yeah, there's going to be work time. I have to pay the bills. So there's time that's focused on work. For me, fitness time. Now that fitness could be mental, could be meditation, it could be, hey, maybe a certain type of reading, it could be physical, it could be walking, whatever that is for you, something about your overall well-being is a bucket of time. Mental, physical, whatever that combination is. We have to sleep. Get in a good quality amount of sleep. I need 7 hours. Less than 7 hours, I'm terrible. And then hobbies. Now, hobby may be your goal if it's not related to your job. But have buckets for all those different elements. And I'm super strict with those buckets. I am very resistant to anything that tries to interrupt or take time from one bucket from another. I am very protective of them because they all matter. Me as a person, me as my overall well-being, I need those buckets of time. If I don't work out, I feel crummy. If I don't work out and spend time with my family, what's the point for any of this? I need my sleep or I don't function very well. I like my hobby. It helps me decompress. My hobby is my YouTube channel. And it is my hobby. It's not my job. It's not related to my job. The YouTube channel is my hobby. It's something I do for me, but it's also a way I can help others. So I want to stay true to my mission statement. I want to stay true that I think about, hey, I'm going to put in the work. Give something back. Try to make the world a little bit better. Now, how you give back, there's not a right or wrong. Maybe you work at a charity. Maybe you help out at an animal shelter. Maybe you coach a little league. Maybe you mentor someone. Maybe you donate money. Maybe you help a neighbor. Whatever it is, there's not a right or wrong. Everyone is different. Everyone has different characteristics, and how you can help differs based on your characteristics and your means. There's different things we can do. For me, I feel trying to help people learn is the best way I can help, which is why I do the YouTube channel. It's why there's no advertising on the channel. I don't want to make money from it. If I made money from it, I'm not really focusing on giving back anymore. It's a side business. I don't want the channel for that. So the channel is my way of trying to give back, to help people learn, to advance their own goals. But one thing I want to really stress, and I may come over a little bit, if jaded is the right word here, but when you give back, realize people are not bad at all. People just don't always consider the bigger picture and other demands on time. And so give back, but be okay with drawing a line. This is what I can give back. This is those buckets of time. This is what those buckets allow me to give back. Because the world will always try and take more. There'll always be people out there that want a bit more. Again, they're not bad. They're just not thinking, hey, I'm one of maybe 10 people or 20 or 50 people wanting help or wanting some direct contact. You have to be okay saying, sorry, I can't do that. This is what I can do. That's all I can do. So be okay having a line. For me, I've really had to just draw a line that I don't interact with social media. I don't respond to comments. I don't do one-to-one things. I don't talk at events. I can't. There's not enough time. The YouTube channel is my hobby, but it's creating the content. Any other time beyond that would have to come away from time with my kids or my wife. Random people on the internet are not more important than my family. So that's my line. I spend my hobby time and my giving back is creating the content, but that's it. My wife, she volunteers at the schools, my son's school and my daughter's school. She's on the PTA. She hates to say no, but there's always someone else asking her to do something. And it just mounts up and up. And it just becomes overwhelming. So realize none of these people are bad. They just don't consider all the other people that are asking for things. So the only person that knows is you. So give back, but be okay with saying, hey, this is my line. Because what happens is if you don't do that, ultimately, what turned from something joyous and a positive experience starts to shift to begrudging. And then it becomes a negative. And you don't want that. This should be a positive thing in your life. So be okay having that line. Again, they don't mean any harm. They just don't think. It's really that simple. And when I think about giving back, think about helping, focus on helping in your job as well. And so if I think about this is how to be successful. Now, in a computing world, turning it off and on is probably not the best thing in life. But for my customers, my focus is on how can I help them? Now, the way we help them is we have to understand what matters to them. What makes them successful? What pain are they experience? What blocks are in their way? How do I solve that problem? How do I remove that block? How do I help share some knowledge? So I have to learn what matters to my customer, what makes them successful, and then enable that. That's all I do. I don't focus on, hey, I need to get them to use this widget. You have to trust that what you do in your job is of value. It has a benefit. That ultimately, if you do a good solution, you're going to want to use your widget because it's a good widget. It's going to help your client. So don't think about, hey, this is my widget. This is the new stuff my widget can do. Focus on understanding what matters to the customer. Focus on how do I solve their problems and have faith the tools in your tool belt, your widgets, will be part of the solution because you have good widgets. People are going to want to use your widgets. If you've ever been buying a car, and if you walk into the showroom, when that salesman runs over to you, hey, look at our new car, it's got this feature and this feature and this feature, you hate them. No one likes car salesmen because they're just telling you about their features that they think you should care about. They're not trying to help you really or solve your problem. They're just trying to sell you what they want to sell you. So you hate being sold to. You love buying a car. So we hate to be sold to, but we love to buy. If that salesman will say, hey, if you have any questions, If you've something you're trying to do, let me know. I'd be happy to help out. Hey, what do you want the car for? Oh, okay, well, I've got family, I'm trying to get here. If they actually understand your requirements and help you solve your needs, you'd appreciate that a lot more than someone just telling you a bunch of stuff about what they think you should care about. So focus on solving that problem. Help the customer achieve their goals. Be yourself. Enjoy the journey. You are who you are. That's great. Embrace that. I am who I am. I have positive characteristics. I have negative characteristics. We are the sum of those things. Be genuine. Be true to who you are. I am an introvert. I am fully aware of that. I am not good, and it's got even worse with COVID, a direct one-to-one type communications in a social atmosphere. If someone wants to talk to me about football or saying I'm terrible, that is not my strength. I'm good at helping people digest information. That's my strength. And I'm sincere. I don't try to pretend to be something I'm not. Be yourself, but be sincere and true to that. Be trustworthy. Have principles and stick to them. And it really is the journey that matters. So the journey is where I learn. The journey is where I grow as a person. The ultimate destination, by the time we get there, may not even matter that much anymore. But the lessons we've learned along the way, that's what really matters. Don't take shortcuts. If you take shortcuts, you're shortcutting the journey. And again, the journey is what matters to get to where you want to go. I like the long way. Hey, the long way, it's harder work, but it's going to be a better journey. I'll get more experiences along that journey. It's why, and again, this is my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of very strong mentoring. Sure, I've had good bosses along the way who help polish off some rough edges. I don't want someone guiding what I do. I know what I want to be. I want to make the mistakes. I'll trip and I'll fall, but I'm the sum of the good things and the bad things. People always ask, hey, if you could go back in time and change one thing, what would you change? I wouldn't. Now, I've done I've had mistakes, definitely, but I'm the sum of those. If you take away a mistake, you're not the same person anymore. And I like where I am right now. I like what I've learned. And again, I've made mistakes and I look back on some things and I'm like, ugh. But I go, ugh, which means, hey, I've grown, I've learned from that. So that's okay. So embrace that. You are the sum of everything. We grow, we evolve. What we want might change over time, and that's okay. We're constantly growing as people. So all of this, closing thoughts. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you want to do. You can get there. You just have to put in the work. You have to ignore the negative people. So have the big goals. Don't be afraid of the failures. We all fail along the way, but again, we learn from those failures. Make sure you have those key items in your life: family, work, sleep, hobby, well-being. Have windows of time. Ideally, every day, I want to be doing something that enriches me, that gets me towards my goal. That might be learning something, it might be reading something, it might be working out. Again, not right or wrong, but do something towards that. Never compromise trust. They talk about respect. Respect takes years to gain, seconds to lose. The same is trust. Don't compromise trust. If you've built up trust, if you've been an honorable person, if you have principles, never betray those. Oh, I really need to sell this product. Oh, I'll get the customer. Don't. Solve the problems. Be true. The longer term is far more important than some tactical thing. Your container's not empty. However you might perceive, however you might worry, it's not. You have huge amounts to offer. So don't be afraid of offering that. You have value. Share the value and share it in a way that you're comfortable sharing it with. not right or wrong. Maybe you like to share in big discussions. Maybe you want to share it via emails or team chats. Maybe you share it with an individual. Again, be who you are. Be okay with that. Share in the way that matters to you. There's a lot of good in the world. I talk about negative people and negative things. Yeah, if you look at the news only and social media, that's what you're going to get bombarded with. If you look at humans and you look at the real world, there's a lot of good out there. So try and focus more on that than more of these artificial streams that are being beamed at you. You've got a lot to offer. There's a lot of good. Embrace those things. So that was it. That's some things that I think help. Take what is valuable to you. But I appreciate you watching this keynote, and good luck.